To determine the best distribution of loads on standard 200 amp panels for your Marina service, consider the following steps. 1. Calculate the total load in current. The total load is 223,200 volt amps. The total current is 372 amps after applying the diversity factor of 40%. 2. Determine the number of 200 amp panels required. Since you have 200 amp panels, the maximum load each panel can handle is 200 amps. Therefore, you will need at least 2 panels to accommodate the 372 amps. 3. Distribute the loads equitably. Divide the total load, which is 223,200 volt amps, by the number of panels, which is 2. This results in 111,600 volt amps per panel. This corresponds to approximately 186 amps per panel. 4. Distribute the receptacles. Ideally, you would divide the total number of receptacles by the number of panels, which is 2. This would mean distributing them as evenly as possible, so you have 24 receptacles per panel. 5. Assign the receptacles to the panels, ensuring the loads are balanced. For example, you could assign 24 30 amp receptacles to one panel and 24 20 amp receptacles to the other panel. 6. Verify the load balance. Calculate the total load on each panel based on the receptacles assigned. Verify that the total load is close to 186 amps for each panel. Here's an example distribution. For panel 1, assign 24 30 amp receptacles. This equals 18,000 volt amps, which is equivalent to 300 amps. The total load on panel 1 is 18,000 volt amps. For panel 2, assign 24 20 amp receptacles. This equates to 9,600 volt amps, which is equivalent to 240 amps. The total load on panel 2 is 9,600 volt amps. This distribution ensures that the loads are relatively balanced across both panels, staying within the limits of the 200 amp service. However, it's important to note that the initial example has some discrepancies. If panel 1 has a load of 300 amps and panel 2 has a load of 240 amps, it would not add up to the original amount of 372 amps.